Welcome to Kicks Gaming. This is Papa Kicks. Every Hunt Royale video I make has a subscription code hidden somewhere in it, so make sure you hit the notification bell to increase your chances of winning. First off, this is not a recommended list for Maze 20 solo. The hunters I chose were to help with the no healing, not for their strength per se. The other thing to note is my perk priority is also based on survival and offense. So many of the perks I brought would be bad choices for a normal run. One of the things I wanted to discuss is the ability to exclude perks when you awaken hunters. You will notice that sometimes I brought a default perk but then also excluded it. This is a great feature. It allows me to have one copy of that perk but keep it out of the perk pool. Things like Lifesteal and Death Strike, depending on the hunter, you may only need one of, and any additional are wasted. So excluding them from the perk pool is a great solution. Angel should have been saved for later levels, ideally ones with no healing, since her awakening allows for healing on no heal floors. I picked hunters with the following perks: Lifesteal, Regen, Dodge, Damage Reduction, Stealth, or Weakness. Gorgon is nothing special. I picked her because she has Death Strike and Lifesteal, so she does clear mobs quickly, but her single target DPS is lacking. Imp Master is decent DPS, and with Ricochet he farms faster than before. But in these early levels, I'm just trying to use up junk hunters. I discovered an interesting bug in this run. Imp Master's attacks no longer go through walls in Maze, but if you look, it's still summoning tentacles where the target is. Axe Master has always been a great hunter, and Ricochet doesn't change that. The amount of perks he gets to exclude though is a pretty big buff. Renderman was not that good. If I could do this again, I would pick someone else. I chose Protector for 6 just out of habit. Slow hunters work great on no heal floors due to the boss pathing. I showed this in my snowman video. If the boss tries to attack you and can't due to line of sight, he will move to where you were and not where you are. If he is slowed, this takes much longer, allowing you to attack for a long stretch without him attacking back. His awakened weakness is just icing on the cake. Donatello is the next season hunter. He has very high survivability. He is also a professional at blocking and reflecting attacks. If you aren't used to using reflected damage to increase poison, this is your chance to learn how. Once you have enough stacks, you stop attacking and let the boss hit you. The damage is huge, and the resulting poison is huge times poison stacks. Have fun. King was meh. I only brought him for his survivability, but his multi-shot isn't bad. Crow's Awakening is very strong, same with Samurai and Trickster. Using him on floor 9 was kind of a waste. It did not show how strong it really is. If an enemy deals 100 damage and Crow kills it, he gets 10% of that. If you repeat this 50 times throughout the game, that's 500 extra damage, and that does scale 10% each time when you level. Raging Orc is an easy choice for no healing floors. His damage is insane, but you do want to get things like dodge and damage reduction. Back in Kraken days, you'd want to avoid these things. But in Maze or even Yeti, you still want them to make sure you don't die once your HP is low. But post-awakening, his DPS is higher than ever. Pirate is another strong hunter similar to Axe Master. Axe Master has higher DPS potential, but Pirate is easier to play since her cone of attack does not get wider like Axe Master's. Torment is a new hunter that comes out with Abyssal Maze. He will be similar to other debuff hunters like Void Knight or Ripper. His damage bonus won't be as high as these other hunters, and especially not Mad Doctor, but he's still going to be a great addition. Grey Wolf used to be great, but with Maze Gear, he had too much attack speed for his own good. The problem is that he is limited to how many tornadoes he can summon based on his Stormmaker skill. If you have more attack speed than Stormmakers, you can actually lose DPS, because you are summoning new tornadoes before the existing ones can deal damage. Awakening solves this by removing that limit, and now he's stronger than ever. Engineer is a solid hunter, especially at stacking poison, or fire in this run. Having multi-shot just makes it go twice as fast. You can also use the reflect strategy, and then we're doing 2400 stacks times boss damage. At the end of my run we are doing 300,000 burn ticks. We needed more reflect perks to really shine, but we still do a 1.6 million explosion at the end, but much higher is possible. Necromancer is a perfect hunter for no heal floors. If you get max improved minions, the minions now deal slow damage, allowing you to use the slow strategy I described earlier. She has the potential to kill the boss without taking a single hit. One of her only weaknesses is her ability to kill early. Awakening gives Death Strike, removing that problem. Ninja is a strong hunter. He's not too strong like some hunters, but he's great in almost every mode. I tried multiple times, but just couldn't get the boss down fast enough. Because of the DS immunity, I think he would have been better below 16. Oh well. Ancient One is a terrible monstrosity. If he gets enough multi-shots, it's pretty much GG. You can argue that his awakening doubles his damage output. He still suffers in Dragon and Boss Hunt where the fire breath kills his tentacles, but every other dungeon he's as great as ever. He doesn't even need Death Strike with enough multi-shots. So this was a great spot to include Death Strike by default, but then exclude it so it's not in the perk pool. Mecha is usually very strong, but 417 was probably pushing his limits in my run. The first time I used him, I got the boss to hit the wall, making it very easy. I chose not to count this run because it's basically cheesing, and then once I was playing him legitimately, it wasn't nearly as easy. His lack of damage reduction and requirement to stand still was just too much. I gave up and switched to Phantom. Phantom is a fantastic hunter. Even before Awakening he was strong, but adding multi-shot was 200% damage. Then removing unneeded perks from the perk pool increases your chances of getting the perks we want. She's stronger than ever. He can also be used on no heal floors because when enough ghosts are summoned, they start staggering the boss, pushing it back and doing a faux stun. Ripper. Man, what a huge buff he got. Double multi-shot is a 300% damage bonus from his pre-awakened state, and it shows. You only get to remove one perk, so it's not a huge buff there, but it still helps. But look at this damage. He shreds the boss on 18. Cesspie figured out that you're actually getting double weakness when you count in poison or fire damage. Mad Doctor is one of the only god tier hunters, capable of an always increasing DPS. Buffing your partner on top of that? Beautiful. He can throw over walls? Perfect for 19, no healing. He honestly did not need buffing, at all, and yet they doubled his disease. His DPS is higher than ever, and so is your partner's. and being able to exclude 3 perks is pretty huge. Plague Doctor's Awakening is a little underwhelming in my opinion. He gets 1 more stack of Toxic Plague, and an increase in his maximum cap of this perk. It's the equivalent of 100% more poison. If he's already dealing 400% poison, and you add 300% maze poison, going from 700% to 800% is kinda trivial. But I couldn't beat 20. Tell me in the comments what I did wrong, because I know people use him on 19. Is it similar to Mech? Was it the lack of life drain and lack of damage reduction capabilities? So I replaced Plague with Void Knight since he is great for avoiding damage, and his Awakening means he's reducing all damage by 60% right from the start. This made floor 20 a cakewalk. Being able to exclude 3 skills means he's going to be getting weakness that much more often. He's a great choice to awaken early. So that was my run. No life drain, no dodge, no damage reduction, and no poison. And yet with awakened hunters, it was a piece of cake. Hopefully you can take the logic of my choices and make a much better list if you want to try this for yourself. I could have done this run without full mythics, or even without full legendaries. That isn't required, it just makes it easier. But using full mythics allows me to segue into the giveaway. Will Gates really opened up the vaults for this one. We even had to convince Gammon Ord to let us do this giveaway. That's how good it is. So like, subscribe, and enter your ID in Runty's Discord. If you win, you'll get to pick the mythic of your choice. So those of you with 4 mythics and 1 slot and makes you hate the RNG gods, this is the giveaway for you. I want to thank Will Gates for sponsoring this giveaway. We couldn't do it without him. I also want to thank Gammon Ord for allowing us to do it. As always, a huge shout out to my patrons for their continued support. If you want to join them, you can do so in the links below. You can also join now on YouTube. You get the same perks, but you can do it through the YouTube platform instead of Patreon. I also want to thank the people in my Discord server who help me with these videos. They answer questions and give feedback, and it's always appreciated. And thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe. Papa Kicks out. Net, Rivet, Help, Is, Net, Hesh, We, Heck.